Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Hello, I'm Dr. Ali Grimston. I'm a GP and functional medicine doctor in the UK. And welcome, everybody, to this talk about LifeWave patches and a new technology that enables us to activate our stem cells without expensive stem cell injections. And the results that I and my colleagues here are experiencing with this are nothing short of miraculous, really quite amazing. So just as an introduction, I have been a GP for 30 years, and I first came into network marketing in 2008 when I was looking for additional income streams and alternatives to NHS general practice as a burnt out GP. So I was looking for the income side, but I wanted it to be aligned with my passion for health and well-being. I joined a different company and was loyal to that until November, really, last November. And I never made enough money from it even to pay the regular order that I had to have as a business owner. And in the UK, we're not allowed to count that order again as a business expense against tax, which is a bit frustrating because in other countries, most other countries, you can. So I wasn't really looking for another of these opportunities, but when George, who many of you know and love, reached out to me in November, I said, well, yes, I'll take a look when I've got time. And he kept being consistent with messaging me and saying, how you doing? Let's meet up. And finally, in February, I took a look at what I'm going to share with you today. And to be honest, I was blown away. As I say, I wasn't looking for another network marketing opportunity. I do like the business model. It's just like a franchise with less investment needed. The difficulty is because there's less investment needed, people don't realize that they need to do just as much training and follow the system as if it was a franchise. But I looked at these patches and I thought they might be helpful for my daughter with fibromyalgia. And I thought I'd give them a go. But I was doing it from the business point of view. And so I didn't wait until I had results myself before introducing them to other people, because I know there's a lot of people out there hurting, both from the point of view of health and the point of view of finances. Now, we are watching another crash going on around our ears this week, thanks to dear Donald Trump. And even before that, we were in the midst of a credit crunch. So many people are struggling financially, but if they are, they're not going to tell you. So your friends, you may feel like talking to them about health, but when they're struggling financially, they're not going to invest in their health. They are more interested in the financial side. The talk I'm going to give you today talks about the patches and the technology and the impact it's having on people's lives in health, but also we're going to talk about business, because those of us here who are open to additional income opportunities might just want to come and join us. So for me, the first night that I tried the patches in February 2023, I woke up and I thought, gosh, I can remember my dreams. Now, I hadn't remembered my dreams for decades, and that's a marker for the quality of your sleep. If you're getting REM sleep, then you're more likely to remember your dreams. And I've consistently remembered my dreams on waking since then, which is an amazing thing. I also noticed, my husband noticed on the third day of patching that his pain in his hands from arthritis, from the pain in his hands from gripping American footballs when he was younger, there was really been going on for 3 years. He was dropping things. He was even dropping cooking he was taking out of the oven. That pain went away on the third day of using the X39 patch, which we're going to talk about today. And over time, his ankle pain went as well. His knee pain is improved, but not gone completely. For me, I've had a whole load of mild improvements. I mean, a whole load across the board. Longer eyelashes, which get shorter when you've got an underactive thyroid. More energy, less brain fog, better bowel movements, reduced pain in my buttocks, a load of things. And we're going to come to some testimonials later on as well. And thank you. Rich has just shared his friend is walking without a stick for the first time in years, walking rather than shuffling. And we have seen really profound changes. But if you've only got mild health issues or no health issues, you're likely to notice less. That was me. And that's always me with these things. But I also know the science, and I know I want to reduce my aging rate. I want to do what I can to age well and to live well until I die. I want improved health span as well as improved lifespan. So I'm just going to, we're now at 42 people, which is wonderful. Welcome everybody. I'm now going to share. Hopefully that's the correct share. You'll let me know if it's not. So this is me talking about LifeWave patches and the business, and I'm passionate about the business as well as the products health-wise. As George says, the business opportunity is another product of this business. So here I am, I'm a functional medicine doctor. For those of you who don't know what functional medicine is, it's looking beyond the obvious. It's not just giving a pharmaceutical band-aid to a symptom. It's looking at why someone has the symptom in the first place. For example, many of you will be taking a proton pump inhibitor like omeprazole, lansoprazole, because we have got hundreds of thousands of people on these drugs, because people come into their GP or primary care physician complaining of heartburn, and the first thing we do as a GP, because we've only got 10 minutes, we don't have time to explain anything, we'll just try them with omeprazole, and very often people end up staying on it because it relieves the symptom, which makes both the patient and the doctor feel better. But how much better is it to find out what the cause of the heartburn is and heal that? Because in actual fact, if you suppress your acid secretion as you do with omeprazole, you're stopping yourself absorbing calcium and magnesium. That results in leg cramps, migraines, bone density issues like osteoporosis and osteopenia, and much more. And it affects the way nerves work. These things, especially magnesium, is involved in 300 different chemical reactions, more than that, in every cell in the body. So the way the culture has gone in Western society of a quick fix to palliate the patient, to palliate the doctor, and the doctor's focus on pharmaceuticals just isn't helpful. The other thing is it's not helpful to the environment. And as somebody who grew up on a farm, who's passionate about wildlife, I don't like the way we are overusing pharmaceuticals, overusing plastics and fast foods and processed foods at the detriment of our health and that of the earth. So to get most out of this training, I'd like you to focus. So have you been patched yet? Hopefully most of you have. Some of you won't, because you'll have been contacted by people like me who say, look, we've got this new technology that's so amazing. I'd love you to find out a bit more about it. And here we are. What we're doing with these patches, and you can see one just on this lady's arm, we're elevating a peptide. Now, some of you will have heard of peptide therapy. We're elevating copper peptide GHKCU. We're activating stem cells because that's what GHKCU does. And we're regenerating the body. We're helping the body to heal itself and to regenerate. So LifeWave X39 patch is stem cell reactivation technology in a little patch the size of a Band-Aid. LifeWave's a well-established company. It's been established since 2004, and since the launch of X39 in 2019, it has experienced exponential growth, notwithstanding the virus that went around in 2020. And this is because more and more people are interested in regenerative medicine, longevity medicine. More and more people are struggling financially and health-wise, and LifeWave patches don't always, but sometimes give a very rapid result, and we'll come to that later. This is David Schmidt, who's the inventor of the X39 and the other patches. He now has over 200 patents. Now, those of you who are in business will know that patents are very important, but very expensive. So to have 200 patents is crazy. The recent patent for X39 took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. You have to justify why you're asking for a patent and you have to patent the size, the shape, the packaging, the logo, a whole load of things, as well as the effectiveness. This is just one of the US patents, and it talks about as a result of elevating copper peptide, results such as activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. These are profound and far-reaching things that are patented here. So why X39 stem cell activation patch? The thing about stem cells is that they are the progenitor cells. They're the cells that create every organ in your body. When you're a fetus, you start off with billions and billions of stem cells, but they reduce rapidly. By the time you're a teenager, you have about 1 billion active adult stem cells, and it's dropped to 400 million by the age of 30, and it's dropped by 90% by the age of 60, and it carries on beyond there. They've not all died. Some of them are inactive, and that's where the stem cell reactivation patch comes in. So X39 works as a proprietary form of phototherapy. There are nanocrystals, organic nanocrystals within the center of this patch, and that reflects light back into the body to activate a peptide. They're non-transdermal, so nothing comes into the body from the patch. All we're doing is deflecting, like a mirror, deflecting our own infrared light back into the body. There are no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. It's non-invasive. The glue is medical grade glue. So yes, some people have a little bit of intolerance to it, but only the same as to other glues. And it's about 1 in 1,000, I think. And if that does happen, we have ways around that. So talk to the person who invited you to this talk if that is an issue. But remember, these are these are medical, these are wellness devices, not medical devices, and not pharmaceuticals. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent the symptoms of any disease. So how do we wear the X39? These are the 2 positions that were used in the studies. You have to have consistency in studies, because if you put it all over the place, there will be no consistency and your study won't be published. So you've got to have consistency. That doesn't mean that these are the only 2 places to wear it, but it does mean it's very easy to tell people where to wear it. It makes it simple to explain to someone. Just put it on the back of your neck. That's what I do. However, I've just seen a testimonial on an Achilles tendon injury, and she put the X39 patch directly on her Achilles tendon down here with great results and complete resolution of long-standing pain in 7 days. So wear your patch for up to 12 hours and take it off for at least 12 hours to allow the body to repair and rejuvenate and make it more sensitive to the next day's patch. You then throw the patch away, although many of us use them on our companion animals the next day, because there is although the effectiveness is reduced, there's about 16 hours wear in each patch. So mine go on my dogs, they rotate. Then you put a new patch on the next morning and then repeat. And you can wear more than 1 patch at a time. I don't generally recommend more than 1 X39 patch at a time, but there are several other patches which we're not going to talk about today. The person who invited you to today's talk can talk to you about those. And you can wear them at the same time as the X39, but they are there to complement the X39. I've got 3 patches on now. I wear 4 patches overnight. So long-term results with X39, we've seen this in case studies, and you can see the case studies for yourself on the website thisisit.info.com. Within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. We know this from studies of GHKCU. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, and within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. This is one particular study of 14 or 15 people. When they wore the X39 consistently for 6 months, now that we can measure cardiovascular age, it had reversed by 8 years within that 6 months, which is crazy. So we're seeing this more and more with longevity medicine. So what are the benefits of X39? These are the sort of watered down ones that we're allowed to talk about, if you know what I mean. So they're the general ones. We're not allowed to say it improves any illness, because it doesn't. It's helping the body to improve an illness. But we do see increased strength and stamina, reduced inflammation, improved energy and vitality, reduced brain fog, improved mental clarity, restored musculoskeletal condition, improved sleep, and improved skin appearance. We see a lot more than that. And we find that you can achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And we find that when you've been using the X39 for 3 months, our mood is greatly improved, and it's actually quite difficult to feel depressed. And a lot of us find that. So it's really amazing. We recommend that you use the patches for a minimum of 90 days, preferably for an additional 1 month for every decade of life for optimal results. So if you're 60, I recommend you use them for 9 months. And only stop wearing them when you want to start aging at the normal rate again. So make sure you're drinking plenty of good quality water. I recommend filtered water. And some people see results in weeks, days, hours, or even minutes, but you might be different. You might not see results for 3 months. You might not see results for 7 months. It does happen. But there are often little things that are changing, maybe not the thing that you're focused on. So if you're using it because you want your knee pain to get better, it may be your stem cells may decide actually that something else in your body needs mending first. Like they might say, well, we need to work on the cardiovascular system before we work on the knee, which you wouldn't notice. So even if you're not got tangible results, there is something going on in your body, rest assured. So this is a scan of the brain of a 77-year-old woman. In session 1, this is before she started using the patches. The red shows a high level of inflammation in the brain. There's a lot of inflammation here, and they also measured brain coherence using other studies, other ways of measuring. In session 2, this is after 3 weeks on X39, and session 3 is after 6 weeks on X39. When she first came in, her brain was hyperactive, and she found that her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit. So not only in terms of the inflammation we're seeing here, but also in terms of being able to focus and being calm. And after wearing it for 6 weeks, it was still calmer. Here we have inflammation reduction in the heart over a period of 5 months. So you can see there's a big improvement after 2 months, but it's worth persisting for a bit longer. Here we have inflammation reduction with just 30 minutes of X39. This is incredible. So this is somebody's back, the top of their back and the lower back, the mid to low back here. And after 30 minutes of using the X39, there's already a measurable reduction in inflammation showing here. This lady was just carrying an X39 patch for 30 minutes. Here you see inflammation at the base of the thumb. That's a very common site for inflammation, but already reduced after 30 minutes of just carrying that patch. Now you may be thinking, well, this is just a placebo effect, surely. And I can understand that, and I can understand the skepticism. We are naturally skeptical. This is a horse. This is actually Eon, I think. It's one of our other patches, but it's reduced inflammation. There's before and after 4 months later, a big reduction in inflammation in the shoulder joint, and the horse is looking a lot better. And I'd love you to see this because this is magical. This is a little dog with paralyzed back legs. Oops. That's the same dog able to run around. Dachshunds, because they're bred to have long backs, they often have back and spine issues. This is incredible. And we see this result in humans too. It blows me away every time. I'd also like to show you some visual effects because they're very powerful. However, when you're looking at these, don't just think in terms of external beauty. I'd like you to reflect that external improvement in appearance like this reflect internal anti-aging going on. So while your skin is improving like Dr. Stasis did here between 2021 and 2024, your liver's improving, your pancreas is improving, your gut's improving. So much more. Your joints, the internal mechanism of your joints is improving. Here, this lady over 9 weeks, I love this particular picture because the reduction in age patches you can see here, the reduction in wrinkles, really amazing. And this lady, you can see she's got less hooded upper eyelids, and this is one of the results I've seen with the X39. She has more light in her eyes and much less wrinkles around the mouth and the neck. And this lady, again, you can see the shadows under the eyes, the wrinkles around the mouth have improved enormously. Now we've got some less common things that are more meaningful, especially to a doctor like me. So as far as I'm concerned, vitiligo, it's an autoimmune condition. The only thing we can do for it, really, we just tell people to use camouflage makeup because there isn't an answer. This gentleman, after just 3 months of X39, you can see the improvement. And of course, with pigmented skin, this is much more impactful than if it only shows up when you're tanned and you're pale skin and when you're tanned in the summer. But for him, the improvement in the forehead alone and the cheeks here is enormous, and he's much happier and less depressed, you can see. And this gentleman, this is over a year of using X39 plus a light box in combination, and you can see the improvement in his pigmentation there. This lady has something called Bell's palsy, another autoimmune disease. She's actually been stuck with this paralysis for 18 months at this stage. She's already been treated with everything medicine can throw at her, which is high dose steroids, which causes weight gain and other issues. The reason she's got the eye patch on is because with Bell's palsy, you cannot close your eye. And that means you can't protect your cornea. And so it gets damaged irrevocably. And so that's why they have to wear a patch like this. Now, with just 3 months of X39, you can see the improvement. Her paralysis is barely visible now. Here we see psoriasis, which is a skin condition. It's another autoimmune condition. And this is before X39. This is after 12 hours. With psoriasis, you get really thickened, itchy, red plaques in the skin. And for it to have improved within 12 hours like this is unheard of. And just 10 days, this is not something I would see with the sort of steroid and vitamin D creams that we prescribe for psoriasis. Here we have wound healing from an operation. Here we have venous stasis. So the veins are pooling blood in the foot, and that's already improved after 5 days of X39. Here we have something really meaningful to a primary care doctor such as myself, because we have ankle swelling is so common, we don't have an answer to it. Once we've excluded or optimized cardiovascular and kidney and respiratory health to make sure that's not the cause of the ankle swelling, we're not left with anything else, because the diuretics we used to use all the time actually damage the kidneys. Here we have a harmless patch used for 3 weeks, and this isn't a crazy result. I tell you, I've never seen anything like this in my career. Here we have live blood analysis. On the left, you can see the red blood cells are forming what are called rouleaux or stacking. And that's due to inflammation. That's due to a high viscosity of the serum here, of the plasma. And within just 10 minutes of adding the X39, we see that the blood cells are passing through easily now. And this is something that is really relevant. There's a lot of inflammation going on. I see it in my long COVID clinic, I see it in my menopause clinic, and in general practice. And here we have the results of some wound healing. This gentleman's had a fall. He's got several patches on, one there, one there, one there, one there, and possibly one there. This is an example of using more than one patch. I suspect that with the tan and the white ones here, he has probably got, it might be that one and that one, he's using LifeWave, which reduces pain, plus X39 plus Eon to reduce inflammation. And look, 7 weeks and you wouldn't know he'd had that fall. And here we have a burn, a severe burn, and she's patching around the lesion rather than on it, which is sensible. And she's seen it's almost invisible right at the end, which is just great. Here we have another unexpected benefit of hair growth. And there's a lot of people who have issues with hair loss over time. And here we see the result with just 3 months of X39, the reduction in hair loss when that person's washing their hair. I'd like to come to the testimonial channel now. This is a Telegram channel. You're welcome to take a screenshot of this so that you can look at it later, or quickly catch the QR code with your phone. It's a testimonial site with over 1,000 testimonies grouped into over 160 categories. Remembering that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. These success stories are based on personal accounts. They don't reflect what other people may experience, because everybody's body is unique and different. They've got different genetics, different past exposures, different present exposures, different medicines, different supplements, different attitude to life, and all of these will have an impact on people's recovery rate. That said, these stories are amazing. So if you think about pain, for example, I remember we have one person in South Africa who, when she started patching, she was having to her knee pain was so severe, she was having to use a walker in the house and a wheelchair outside the house. Now, after it's now 2 or 3 years of patching, but after regular patching, she was able to catch a plane with her daughter and, you know, take her to university and things, which would have been unheard of before. We have cases of cancer. Of course, you have to be very careful with cancer. They're using, there are many different factors involved in that. In all of these, there are many factors, and you will see from the case studies that you look at that they are human beings. Therefore, they've got more than one thing. They've not just got Crohn's disease. They've got Crohn's disease and headaches, or visual problems and leg cramps. But these are real humans, rather than the artificial situation of randomized controlled trials where they make it so there's just one variable. Blood pressure, we have several people who have managed to reduce or even stop their blood pressure medication by working closely with their healthcare practitioner. We do recommend you involve your healthcare practitioner if you're on any medication or being treated for any disease. You need to just get them on board, share the website that we're going to share in a minute with them, and ask them, say you really want to try these, and get them on board with you. Tinnitus, we have seen cases. Tinnitus is another thing, as a doctor, I see as something irreversible, nothing we can do about it. You can try some ginkgo, but I've not seen it work. Tinnitus, I've seen the patches work in cases with that. Not in every case. Lucinda's, it's been reduced slightly, but some people it's gone away completely. So remember, everyone's an individual. Special needs, we've got Alex, who is he's 11 now, and he has seen enormous improvements in his learning difficulties. He's now able to swing on a swing where he couldn't get that momentum, that muscular movement before. He's now able to ride a bicycle in the park where he couldn't even ride the stationary bike before, and he's even saying a few words now. He was 9 when he started patching. We've got cases of asthma, epilepsy, amazing cases. Fibromyalgia, Chris's mother, she rang him up in tears, 5 weeks, 5 days, a little while after starting the X39. I think it was a couple of weeks. And she rang him up in tears because she'd slept through the night for the first time in 45 years. It's amazing. Multiple sclerosis, we've seen cases of people being able to walk again where they weren't before. Diabetes, I've seen people who have their diabetic retinopathy actually improve from one scan to the next, which is unheard of, and as well as people who have managed to reduce their diabetes medication in conjunction with optimal diet and lifestyle, and in conjunction with their healthcare practitioner, always with their healthcare practitioner. Parkinson's, amazing case. I don't know if you're on the line, but one lady's husband, just miraculous improvement in his Parkinson's, with using the X39 patch, from being just stuck in a chair and not really able to take part in life, to now she says she's got her husband back again. Neuropathic pain, this is another thing that the only thing we've got in medicine is heavy hitting opiate medications like gabapentin, which can leave you really zonked out, and sometimes, often actually makes no difference to the pain whatsoever. Neuropathic pain is pain that's from the nerves. So things like shingles, neuralgia, or trigeminal neuralgia. And we have Ingi, whose trigeminal neuralgia was affecting her. She was having to, we've got photos of her wearing ice packs all over her face because she was getting 4 or 5 severe episodes a day. And with trigeminal neuralgia, it's called the suicide disease because the pain is so severe, people would rather die than live with it. And she can't even remember. It was a long journey for her. She went through severe detox reaction. She knew it was worth doing, and she now has no trigeminal neuralgia. She can't even remember what it was like to have it. And that took 7.5 months, I think. So it's worth persisting, but the results are crazy. So you can peruse this website at your leisure and enjoy doing so. Then this website, this is it, info.com. You can take a screenshot of this and look it up later. On this website, you will see patents and studies, but also testimonials. And these testimonials, unlike the ones on the Telegram chat, these testimonials are GDPR and FDA compliant, which means they don't mention the actual illness. So they've had to re-record all their videos, not saying macular degeneration, just saying eye condition. And so this is something that for you to have a look at, but they're really powerful. There are several videos under each of these headings. So have fun looking at that. So X39 is the foundation LifeWave patch. We've focused on that today so far because it's so life-changing, so miraculous. And the X49 is, so all the other patches support the X39. We don't recommend using the X49 or these other patches alone, except just when you're getting started, perhaps with the Eon, but the X39 is the most important patch because it does everything else. I'm just going to have a quick peek at all the messages I just saw. I'll have a look at them fully at the Q&A at the end, okay? Don't think anybody's saying that they can't hear me or anything. So X49 is brilliant. The minute I started adding X49, so you remember the figure with the positions, I wear my X39 on the back of my neck and the X49 below my tummy button. And the minute I did that, the brain fog went away. Now, X49 and X39 together creates a Faraday cage of your body, which means it blocks the EMFs from your computers. I work at the computer virtually all the time, so I'm very exposed to this, and I think this has been amazing for me. It also improves muscle mass, bone density, and heart health. The LifeWave is for pain reduction and ache relief. There are no side effects, and it's non-transdermal as with these others. So we have had people who have managed to come off opiate medication, for example, because of the power of the LifeWave and the X39 together. Now, each of these sleeves contains 30 patches. In the case of LifeWave and the energy enhancer, which is going to come up here in a minute, you're using 2 at a time. So this is only 15 days of use, but most of them it's 30 days of use. Here we've got the glutathione, and as a doctor, this is awe-inspiring because glutathione is a really important thing. It's really important antioxidant, the master antioxidant in the body, needed for detoxification, for liver support, for every cell of your body. And if you take a glutathione supplement, you'll be lucky to increase your glutathione levels by 20%. If you use a transdermal gel, it might be 30, 40, 50%. If you use intravenous glutathione, which is used in IV clinics like mine in London and Birmingham, then you'll increase it more, but for a shorter amount of time because the half-life is only 12 hours. But with this patch, we're increasing the glutathione levels by 300%. There is nothing else that does this, and you only have to wear it every other day. So you've got a prolonged effect. It's powerful, and all of our long COVID patients have glutathione deficiency, and many other people with any chronic fatigue condition, this is a real issue for them. Carnosine, brain function, memory, focus, and it actually lengthens telomeres. So the carnosine patch is really important for nerves. It helps with brain function. We use it, I recommend it for anybody who's got an eye issue. And lengthening telomeres, for those of you who don't know, that don't know, this is the key to longevity and longevity medicine. So as we get older, aging is closely associated with shortening of the telomeres, which is the little caps on the ends of your chromosomes. Carnosine actually lengthens it again, so truly anti-aging. Eon reduces inflammation and as a result reduces stress and anxiety, because stress and anxiety is due to inflammation in the brain. So this has enormous effects. We recommend using this in anybody who's prone to side effects from medication. Try using the Eon for a couple of weeks before you introduce the X39, just because the X39 is so powerful that you can get a detox reaction. Silent nights amazing patch. I have just been to Costa Rica to a business retreat and back again with no jet lag whatsoever. And I've never been to America without jet lag before. Normally I'm lying awake at 5 in the morning, unable to get back to sleep again. That was not the case this time because of this patch. So it regulates sleep. It brings about a measurable increase in natural melatonin production. So that's having the same effect as a melatonin supplement, but using your own melatonin rather than from some exogenous source. And it improves the quality of sleep. So in a study of insomniacs, their sleep was prolonged by 66%. Energy enhancer increases energy, fat burning, and endurance. It was the first to be created by David Schmidt. And it's another one where you're using 2 at a time. You'll see we have pictures that the person who invited you here can share of people like David Beckham using this. One of the Williams sisters was using this, and also Michael Phelps, the Olympic gold medal winner in the US swimming team. Their whole team was wearing them. SP6 Complete, it's for weight and appetite control. It reduces cravings, it aids hormone balance and digestion, and it helps with many different hormones, so not just the hormones of digestion. And Aloe Vera, which improves skin, reduces wrinkles, builds collagen. We also find, those of us that use it at night, if you put it on the third eye, it improves the visioning, the meditation, the sleep quality, in addition to the silent nights. And in addition, there is one like LifeWave in the UK and EU, but not South Africa, called AccuLife, which is like LifeWave with stronger adhesive, meant for horses. So, but you can use any of these on horses, but it will stick longer. So horses and dogs, that one is allowed. You can market that one for animals. So you may be wondering right now, well, how much does this amazing thing cost? It must be really expensive. And to put things into perspective, stem cell injections cost around $40,000 for a full course, and there's a 50% chance it won't work. The parents of Alex took him for 2 stem cell injections down from California to Central or South America, and didn't get any benefit at all. So we've got more effective patches at a fraction of that cost. The retail price for X39 is $149.95. For the additional patches, the other patches apart from X49, it's $79.95. The wholesale price is $99.95. And that's dollars plus country tax and delivery. So for us in the UK, there's a 20% tax on top, which is a bit of a killer, as you can imagine. But at least for us, this is in dollars, not pounds. And then the wholesale price for the other patches varies from, it's $69.95, but if you're buying several, it can go down to $49.95. So these are the enrollment kits that we recommend that you try, that you talk to the person who invited you to today's talk about. So the core package gives you 3 sleeves of X39 for $295. That gives you your 90-day trial of X39, which is the absolute minimum that you need to try it for. You can actually mix and match. So if you think, well, I'm prone to side effects, I want to try the Eon as well, then you can drop one of the X39 sleeves and add in 2 Eon or 1 Eon and one of the others. The advanced pack is great if there are 2 of you that want to try the 90-day trial, or if you can already think of your mum, your aunt, your cousin who you think would benefit from this patch. So that's worth buying. And then the premium gives you the best value with 20 sleeves of X39 or 40 of the other sleeves for $1,750. So this is the one for the serious business builder, or for one of my brand partners who was actually getting it shipped to her daughter in university because it doesn't ship directly to the country she lives in. And you can upgrade from one to another and pay the difference and have the difference in sleeves. Now, if you really can't even afford that, there is another option. You can just buy a starter kit for $25 and just buy 1 sleeve of patches. And we know of Sandy in South Africa who could only afford the $25, but she was so committed to turning her life around. She'd had fraud affecting her pension. She'd lost all her savings, and she sold enough in the first month of the patches from her website to be able to start to get the core pack to get the next pack, a sleeve of patches, and then the core pack, and work her way through. And she's now earning a lot of money through LifeWave. Thank goodness for that. And for those of you who are in South Africa, and I know some of you are South African here, I know that the exchange rate is not great at the moment. However, remember that you're being paid in dollars as well as purchasing in dollars. These are US dollars for those of you in Canada. So right now you're in the right place at the right time with the right product, and there's a place for everyone in LifeWave. You might want to be a wholesale customer. You might want to be a business builder. You might be full hog into being an entrepreneur like myself. You have an incredible opportunity before you to bring healing, the healing power of light, to everyone around you.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Imagine investing in companies like these when they first went public and riding their growth to where they are today. Those who made wise decisions to get involved gained incredible wealth. Now it's your turn. When it comes to regenerative anti-aging science, stem cells are the future. And thanks to LifeWave, you are at the forefront of it all. Don't miss out. X39 puts you on the threshold of explosive growth in your business like no other product ever could. And all you need to do is try it and share it with others. The LifeWave X39 patch, an absolute breakthrough. For your body, for your business. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
Nice little advert there. Great for me because it meant my voice got a bit of a break. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the business now. Not a lot, because that's for you to discuss with the person who brought you to this talk. But LifeWave itself, as you see, it's a 20-year-old company, so it's well established. It's not going to disappear overnight. It's open in 87 countries now, which means you can have a global business just as I do. I have brand partners in my business who are in Canada and in UAE and in South Africa and in the United States and France, so you can build a global business, which is great because it gives you an excuse to travel as well. So LifeWave is the #1 momentum company in network marketing, which is amazing. And that's in a great part because of the growth we've seen with the X39 patch. Stem cells and peptide therapy are hot news, as is longevity medicine. So this is a great time and a great industry to be in. It's also won the Direct Selling News 2024 Global Bravo Awards again. And I'd just like you to think for a moment, just take a moment, and I'm going to slow down a bit. Take a deep breath, ground yourself, and just think to yourself, what's most important in your life right now? Is it your family? Is it time freedom? Is it security? Do you love to travel and just can't at the moment because of time or money? Is it better health or is it less debt? For me, it's all of these. And for many of you, it will be as well, I know. Now, there are 4 ways to earn with LifeWave: the retail profits, the product introduction bonus, binary commissions, and matching bonus. And I think that's enough of that side of things, because it just gets too complicated. And we've got plenty of great videos to explain to you how to earn money with LifeWave. But suffice it to say that for the first time, when I came across this company, I found a company where I could make back my initial investment within a month. And that was crazy. And I invested at the premium level as soon as I got a paycheck within the first month of joining. So we have a binary compensation plan, which is crazy. I was just talking to one of my brand partners, and she's got 102 people in her business, even though she's not been active. So it's just crazy how we can support each other with this method of doing business. And as I say, it is just like a franchise. And the matching bonus is said to be the 8th wonder of the world, because there's unlimited income potential with this combination of ways of being paid. There's a great in-depth video. There's lots of gentler videos, but for those who need the in-depth, there's a great in-depth video here created by Chris from the 333 team in South Africa. These are the websites to know about. This is it, info.com, tells you all about the X39. You can use, I love this website because you can delve into the topic as deeply or as superficially as you want to. So if you're the sort of person who wants to see one short video and then give it a try, that's fine. If you're the sort of person who wants to see the patents and the studies, that's also fine, because everything's linked with that website. So you can share that, you can use that. And then this is it, team.com is the team training website, which is great, because when I saw this, I thought, oh, I don't need to create a training for my people. It's already there. We do have weekly Zoom calls. We have Tuesday, my copy of this has changed. We've got Tuesday, 8 o'clock in the UK, 6 o'clock in the UK. So you've got 2 on a Tuesday, 1 in Afrikaans. You've got Monday at 6 p.m, Wednesday 6 p.m, Friday 5 p.m. And then there's team training on Thursdays and Saturdays. And there are recordings of these presentations too. So this is being recorded. So you can also ask to see a recording of this if you want to see it again. So there are great in-person events as well. We've even got some going in the UK now. In fact, I'm talking in Haywards Heath next week. This has got the wrong date, but it's still the same. Next week, 10 o'clock, Saturday, on the 8th, it's actually this Saturday coming, I'm going to be at Haywards Heath. So do talk to the person who invited you here if you would like to attend that. We'd be delighted to have you. And we also have upcoming events. This is August in Orlando. We actually have an event in June in South Africa. I'm traveling to South Africa to speak at that event, which I'm very excited about, as I've never been to South Africa. And we have Facebook groups. We have all the support you need, and YouTube and a podcast with This Is It team as well. So Richard Branson says, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. We can always find out more. If we just hesitate, we are often missing a great opportunity. So I'm just going to go through some of the pointers, because we've got some wonderful testimonials that people have commented on in the chat. We have Richard, who says his friend is walking without a stick for the first time in years without shuffling. We have, Lauren saying small but noticeable improvements in her hip and knee arthritis or hip and knee pain. We have got Antonia saying the Achilles tendon is working really well with the X39 locally. We have got Favor saying that she's already got food sensitivities improved with 3 weeks of X39. We have Queen Bee, I suspect from her name, well done. And she's had this numbness in her hand for 9 years following chemotherapy. But after X39 for 2 days, she's already starting to have feeling in her hand, which is incredible. And it's just examples of the results we are seeing every day with these patches. Deborah's waiting to see how it will help her daughter with ADHD. And I've got a special group for parents of children with neurodiversity on WhatsApp. And Gazelle has said she has bad ADHD and the improvement is amazing. And their eldest son of 7 also. So really, really pleased to see that everything has improved in her health. And then Yolanda's waiting to see the results in her son. And Deborah's asking a question. So Deborah's asking, is it best to start an 11-year-old on a used patch and for how long, or a brand new patch? With an 11-year-old, it depends if they're very sensitive. If they're not very sensitive, they might be fine with the X39 and just start at maybe 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, build up gradually. Within a week, they could be on 12 hours. Or you might like to try Eon first for a couple of weeks, again, starting on 6 hours and building it up. Eon can be used at night. We don't recommend the X39 at night usually because it can make you quite alert and energetic. But Eon, by reducing the inflammation, it gives more space for the X39 to work more rapidly when you do use it. So it's a great way to use it that Dr. Olufemi, who is here, has suggested to us. And yes, Deepu, I'm looking forward to seeing you all in South Africa. Deborah's asking for a link to the WhatsApp group. Right, any other questions? Would anybody like to open their mic and tell us their testimonials? Thank you, everybody.
Hello, Doctor. It is Queen Bee.
Hello, Queen Bee.
It's Queen Bee for quite different reasons, but in any case, I must tell you, I've known about this product for 2 years, and I just didn't want to bite, and always been on homeopathic medication because nothing works for me, and doctors, I don't know, I haven't seen you, but they normally tell me there's nothing wrong with me or they don't know what's wrong with me. In any case, I have started using the patch because of my brother who has COPD. And for him to start using it, I had to give him some inspiration. And I cannot tell you how well he's doing. And the amazing thing that happened to me is I want to actually put it out to people. They must make diary entrances of the little things that they realize is getting better while they're using this. It was like I've said in my comment that I had chemotherapy, but I've been living with a problem eating a lot of salt. That has vanished. I hardly put salt in my food. I can now eat without drinking water because I had a problem with swallowing. I could not, after my chemotherapy, use my arms to the back of my legs or, oh, sorry, my neck. I can actually found out a week ago that I could actually put my right arm now right over my head, touching my left ear's uh, uh, bottom. Yes, I couldn't do that. I cut my long hair. I thought at first it would be easy to manage that, and I couldn't manage it, so I had to cut it. Now I can do that. And you know, amazing thing is, I can touch my toes again. I couldn't do that. I'm 76, and I thought my life was over. And I tell you
Amazing.
what, It is amazing, this stuff.
It really
And
is.
it just gives you, like I said in my comment, for first thing that I found that money can buy is buying the patches. You can buy your health back.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
otherwise you see lots of people having lots of money, but they're as ill as anything and they can't get better. And
yeah.
they believe money can't buy them wellness, but we can. Um, I just cannot stop talking about this. And one
That's
thing that
why it
I'd like
works.
to ask you,
That's why it works.
yeah,
It's so
I'm,
good as a
I'm,
business because we can't not share it.
well, I had a lunch in a restaurant once, and about a month ago. And I had a touch on my shoulder. A lady said to me, I see you wearing the patch. I said, yes. She says, can you tell me about it? Because I see a lot of people wearing the patches and I don't know
Excellent.
anything about it. So, like, it is really possible that somebody you do not know at
Yes.
all, you can
Yes.
actually get them to use the patches.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel happy because I hate people suffering.
Yeah.
And if you can help them with something minimal, even if they just use the X39,
Yeah.
what a difference in their life it can make for them.
Absolutely. You can keep it simple with just X39. And
Yeah,
you're reminding me that at our last Haywards Heath event in person, a gentleman stood up and said his back pain had improved enormously. And therefore, he was starting his business at the age of 87. So, those of you who think, oh, well, I'm 65 and I'm too old to start a business, you absolutely are not. This
well,
is an
no,
incredible opportunity.
just something that I want to ask your opinion. I see when I remove my patches sometimes that the white dot is actually moved. Is that possible or am I squint?
It is possible. I don't really bother with that. It doesn't really
No,
matter. I had one that came that had a half, a half of the. It had like 1.5 circles on the one patch, so it had just been misplaced on the machines. But generally, they're
okay,
they're generally perfect. The other thing I don't do is actually count the patches. I just,
okay.
it's fine.
Yeah, well, no, in any case, thank you very much. It's nice to see you. I don't know if I confuse you with somebody else. There's a doctor in the UK that's always been on documentaries about health as well. And I don't know if it's you.
Probably not. I've not been on documentaries yet, but I'm probably about to because I've joined a practice with a PR department, so I probably will be.
Is that in Birmingham?
But I am on Facebook a lot.
Okay, great. I'll speak to you again sometime because I
Yeah,
visit Birmingham quite a
yeah,
lot. I'll see if you're available when I'm
yeah.
down there.
Anybody
Thank you.
else with any testimonials?
I've been using X39 for just on a week now.
Oh,
So the first patches I was using was the Eon patches,
yeah,
and they helped tremendously with the neuropathy pains in my feet.
yes.
And I introduced the X39 last week, Tuesday, and on Sunday, I had to go and collect some tile adhesive for a job that we're busy with this week. And it was 40 20-kilogram bags. That's
Whoa,
800 kilograms in total. And I offloaded the van on my own in record time, and I didn't break a sweat.
wow.
Now,
That's crazy.
as a diabetic and someone who has been considerably overweight for some time,
Mm,
uh, I felt very, very different. I wasn't out of breath, hardly broke a sweat at all,
yeah,
and I managed to move that. So for me, that was remarkable.
yeah,
Um, I can't claim that the X39 has helped me lose any weight as yet. That's just been cutting out sugar and carbs.
yeah.
But I have lost 22 kilograms since November.
Wow, well
And
done you.
yeah, and
That's fantastic.
my blood sugar has averaged out at 5.8, and I was averaging 11.8.
Whoa, that is so much better. That's amazing.
So I'm now really looking forward to the patches helping me to come off of the medication.
Yeah.
And I'm already seeing the physical results
Yeah.
just in a week with the X39 and the energy and stamina
Yeah.
increase.
Yeah. Amazing. Well done, Andrew. That's crazy, because we know how difficult it is to lose weight and to to get your blood sugars down.
Yes.
Tanya,
Good evening.
evening.
So for me, I've been patching since the 9th of January, and immediately I had an increase in energy and an ability to break all my personal fitness records within 2 weeks.
Whoa.
What I noticed the difference was I had physical fitness and strength, but I didn't have the mental space to push myself further than I might have previously. And so what I've really noticed is I had kind of suffered with PTSD for about 3 years, and I was just suddenly able to overcome those patterns that were kind of ingrained. And so, like, on an emotional and mental level, in massive improvements in healing and just an ability to let go and get on with life. So that's really been great. And then my eyesight has improved. My scars that I have are disappearing. Stretch marks are disappearing, which is incredible. And for my children, my one suffers with anxiety, and he's able to sleep through the night without waking up with like terror, feelings of terror.
Yes.
And my youngest son has got incredible focus at school now. So he hasn't been diagnosed with ADHD, but he certainly presents. So that's really good. Yeah.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. Right, well, I'm going to stop now because we've gone on for an hour. I did once manage to keep to 30 minutes, but I didn't talk about cases, and it's the stories that make it with this. And maybe I just like the sound of my voice too much. Anyway, have a lovely evening, everybody. And don't forget, for those of you who are guests, do reach out to the person who invited you to this talk, and let them show you how to get started and join us in this amazing opportunity. Take care. Bye.